Welcome to Mortified, the Friendship Quest, a podcast where two long-distance friends bounce media recommendations, all in hopes the other will like it. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Yay Chrome.
And this week, we bring our Randian lens to a more modern narrative, Francis Ford Coppola's 2024 Megalopolis. Before we go back to the club, remember you can help us on Mortified the Legitimacy Quest by smashing that like and subscribe on YouTube, leaving us a review on iTunes, or just telling a friend about the show. Leyla.
Aaron.
It's quite a way to cap off our unit on the Fountainhead, huh?
Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis parentheses 2024 is a movie that I think makes you appreciate the craft of filmmaking and the many, many different disciplines that go into making a movie, because you could really feel their absence in this flick in kind of a big way.
Yeah, Coppola, I'm going to be drawing a lot from Remap Radio's conversation about Megalopolis. Highly recommend you all check that out at remapradio.com. But they talked about how, like, Coppola, this is like his last gasp, right? He basically mortgaged like a lot of his wine business. Like, I think $120 million or something went into this movie. And it basically is like an old guy who hasn't been, in the booth for a while is like, hold on. Let me spin one more track. Let me at this shit. And it's like, man, I hate to say it, bud, but you don't got it no more. And your profound insights, maybe not as profound as maybe they could be.
See, I don't know if I agree with that, because the year before, in 2023, we got Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron, which is also the kind of opus of an 80-year-old man, and that movie fucks.
But Miyazaki's been like working throughout that time period, right?
I mean, yeah.
I don't think Coppola's had like been in the game for a while. His previous movie before this was in 2011.
That's not that long.
Twixt. Sure, but 13 years.
The fuck is Twixt?
It's a candy bar, I believe.
All right. Yeah, before that it's Tetro, Youth Without Youth. Okay, The Rainmaker I've heard of, but his last three, I don't know what the fuck.
Right, this is what I'm saying. Like, he's rusty, and I think he's trying to get one more in there. And I don't blame anybody for selling out and trying to make wine and being rich that way. But like, listen, when you don't got it, you don't got it anymore. And I think he really let it slip. I think he maybe should have let somebody else get in there and maybe just been like a producer. Kind of been like an ideas guy.
Or maybe he does got it, but maybe he doesn't got the all of it required to make the movie he wanted to make. Mm-hmm. This felt like an auteur project gone horribly wrong.
I mean, he's been trying to make this movie since like the 70s, right? Like this is a thing he's been thinking about for forever.
And maybe it should have stayed a dream.
Maybe it should have. I admire at least the ability to pull it off. He did produce a finished product, and there are parts of it that I think are really fun.
But none of them are his doing. The parts of it that are really fun are maybe we could give him credit for the casting.
Right. I think you can definitely take credit for that, right? I think if you know that you just throw a bunch of good actors at something, they're going to produce something. But yeah, I don't know. Is it the worst movie we've ever seen for Mortified? No.
We decided that yesterday. It was not the worst. Australia remains.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Australia is definitely the worst movie we've seen for this podcast. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Maybe top 10, maybe top 5.
Top 5, I think, maybe for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, we ended yesterday with you asking, what is a movie technically, and does this fit the definition of a movie? And we had to really come to an agreement that, yeah, technically this certainly was a film. There are scenes stitched together in time. But so the thing I want to express to the audience, because I was also thinking about all the coverage I've listened to about Megalopolis, and this podcast is also going to fall into this trap. We are going to make more sense of this movie than the movie does.
That's true.
You're going to listen to this, and you're going to say, surely this movie can't be that bad. Not as bad as everybody's saying it is. It is the kind of bad that to fully understand, you do have to watch it yourself. You do have to sit down and dedicate 2.5 hours of your human life, your finite human creature life, to go through Francis Ford Coppola's auteur work, Megalopolis, parentheses 2024, because there are some things because to have a conversation, we must inherently structure it. And the movie doesn't provide its own. We will be providing the scaffolding today. The movie does not. So,
right.
I do suggest you watch it if you have friends who are like film people and you want to just watch a car crash in real time. It's fun for that, but it is a very bad film.
Sure.
In like a novel way, almost.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like all bad movies have a lot of stuff in common, like incoherence, stilted dialogue, poor execution on flawed premises. I don't think there's anything unique in the way that this movie is bad, but I do think it is at least enjoyable in many instances.
I think the enjoyment came from the company for me for the most part.
That's true. If I had watched this by myself, I think I would be in agony. I'm very glad that you shepherded me through this.
I think us sitting together making fun of it was me. I do believe it is my turn to.
Yes, it is. I'm so excited for you to do our summary.
Here we go. Francis Ford Coppola's Megalopolis, parentheses 2024, is a alternate history where New York is New Rome, and our main character is an architect named Caesar Catalina, played by Adam Driver, who is doing his best, period. In Adam Driver's way to creating a utopia made out of a mysterious, miraculous building/medicinal substance called Megalon, are Mayor Cicero and Claudio Pulcher. Claudio, parentheses, Claudio played by Shia LaBeouf, end parentheses. Start parentheses, in a terrible wig, end parentheses. Period. Only one woman in any scene is ever allowed to speak if a man is present. And the main women you have to know about are Mayor Cicero's daughter, Julia, who becomes Caesar's baby mama, Wow Platinum, played by Aubrey Plaza, who's crushing it, and also Vesta Sweetwater, who is a singer pretending to be 17 and auctioning off her virginity for reasons we don't quite understand, maybe. Period. Is that 3?
Yes, that's 3.
That's
so you got
4.
2 more. You're on. You just finished 3. You got 2 more.
Excellent. The movie attempts to track nonsense political machinations involving banks and really on the nose popular uprisings that clearly Francis Ford Coppola is disdainful of. Period. The whole thing's just kind of a fucking mess, and honestly, you really don't need to know what happens so much as you need to know who the characters involved are, because none of the plots involving them make any sense, have any bearing, matter in any kind of way, or, flow like a story. Period.
Yeah, I'd say that was all 5, yeah. I think that works.
Yeah,
I mean...
Because listen, there's no way we're going to have this discussion in a way where, like, we're going to be talking about what happens to characters. We're going to jump around, and it doesn't matter because it's going to make as much sense as the movie did.
Yeah, definitely. we were talking about while we were watching that, like, that how this does have some musical elements, right? Like, there are moments where there's a lot of big emotions happening in a scene, and it feels like if they were singing, it would kind of elevate the dreamlike quality of the film to something more coherent, or at least emotionally resonant. And yeah, like, I feel like in the way that this movie is just a bunch of weird scenes strung together, it could be, just something where it's like, hey, on the stage, we are doing a bit now. You have your program, read what the bit is supposed to be about, and then carry on.
I pitched yesterday that this movie would have been better if it was either a musical or if everybody except for... I changed my mind, not Adam Driver. If everybody except for... everyone except Lawrence Fishburne was a Muppet. I'm going to pitch a third option in which this movie was good if it was a musical and they recast everybody and the cast is now only drag queens.
Huh.
I think because this movie is too pretentious to be camp, and if it was camp, it would be good. And I think if you put drag queens in every role, it'll be such a disaster that it'll actually be enjoyable.
As somebody who doesn't like drag as a performance, I do think you are getting...
I thought you were an ally.
I am an ally in that I have had to go to drag performances for my job, and let me tell you, not as fun when you cannot drink.
Nothing like mid-drag to really put you in your place.
I've seen some very average drag, let me tell you. I think there is something to that, like, element of, like, if people were delivering these lines in a way that drag performers do, kind of, with their performances, like, there might be an element of, like, this is also heightened and unserious that it does, like you said, elevate it to camp in a way that, like, when Adam Driver just launches into the soliloquy from Macbeth here in the first scene of the movie, it's like
for so long.
It's like so 2 to 3 minutes of him just doing Macbeth, and I don't know. I think that might be better if it was just a drag queen, posing and stunting on us. Driver's doing a fun performance. Like, I think everybody in this movie is having a fun time. It's just that, like, it's incoherent.
I don't think everyone in this movie is having a fun time. I think that the people who are having a fun time are the ones that are the most enjoyable to watch. Adam Driver is doing his best. I don't think he's having fun, though.
You don't think that when he's just, like, saying all the plunder of the riches of my Emmersonian mind, you don't think that he's just like, well, fucking whatever, I'll say this shit, whatever, I'm just gonna ham it up?
No, he's too serious. He's too committed to being a performer. But I do want to dig into, I do want to know, because acting is all choices. Acting is reacting. It's making choices. It's making decisions. Who made the choice to go back to the club? Was that him? Was
Surely.
that Francis Ford Coppola?
I think it had to be Driver, right? I think this is Driver making fun of, or, the character making fun of the quote-unquote decadence of new Roman socialites. But I think Driver can tap into something that's like, oh, you all think you're so cool, but you're actually stupid.
Well, the whole scene, the entire lead up to the scene is also fucking criminal, because it's like... Julia shows up to his office because she watched him stop time, and in the contrived, the pretentious world of this movie, only people who are like hashtag tapped in to the true artist's soul can recognize the stoppage of time. Everyone else is like blind to it. So she came up because she saw him stop time and she wanted to ask him about it. And he was like, oh, you're the mayor's slutty little daughter that I hate. Why don't you go back to the club? But before that, they just have this insane conversation where he does say, like, oh, I only allow, like, people who understand art and architecture and literature to plunder the riches of my Emmersonian mind. And then they have this prolonged exchange where... what does she say over and over again?
Entitles me?
Entitles me?
Entitles me?
Entitles me?
Entitles me? Yeah, it's not that far off from what we're doing right now, which is, it's goofy as hell.
Nathalie Emmanuel just like again doing her best, and I don't think she's having fun either. It's just
that's true. Because she's supposed to be kind of an audience surrogate, like like grounded character, and she doesn't get to be able to play around in the space of this dumbass setting.
No, because she has to immediately fall in love with Adam Driver's Caesar Catalina.
Mm-hmm.
And these are there aren't a lot of like, I wouldn't say there are too many direct parallels to the Fountainhead, but this is very much supposed to be that kind of like relationship that Howard Rourke and Dominique Francone have, where it's like the priest and the priestess, and they're supposed to like see each other and have this understanding. But the thing that Rand tries to make work, I'm not saying she succeeded, but I'm saying the thing she tried to make work was there was some kind of reciprocal Death Note energy between the two of those people.
Right.
It's all Julia like locked in on
right.
Caesar Catalina in this one.
Right. I think probably the weakest part of this movie, I think the thing that like, we're just not invested in Catalina's character really at all. Like, he just seems like a kind of annoying weirdo. And when he can't really make, like, when he doesn't have like any real relationship moment. Actually, that's not true. They have one interesting moment, like right before they hook up, I think, where they're like fucking around, in bed. Not sexually, like they're just like kind of doing, goofy couple shit. That's fun. But like, he doesn't like he doesn't deliver any dialogue with a gravitas or a meaning behind it that makes me feel like, oh, this is a real normal guy. Like, and I know that this movie is playing in the mythopoetic. It is trying to hit like a fabular, allegorical oeuvre, but like I just don't think it's there, right? I think it's too goofy to get there. And it makes me
Adam Driver screaming no 18 times compelling.
No, no, I didn't find it compelling. I thought it was dumb.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing, right? So you brought up like, so Julian and Caesar become a couple, but when
they just
he negs her,
and it works. So take that as a note, men who listen to this podcast.
Neg women.
But also,
Aaron hates drag. You should neg women.
Listen, this is the right wing pivot. We told you all, and now it's happening.
We warned you all.
And yeah, like, I think the moment where they actually like get together is when Caesar is like, I can't stop time anymore. And then Julia is like, stop time for me. And then he does. It's like, oh, they could stop time when they're together.
In one of the most insanely framed shots I've ever seen in my life, where it's like Caesar awkwardly, almost full body, standing on like a beam that is for some reason higher than the beam that Julia is standing on. Well, because women are inferior, obviously, so she can't be.
Yeah, we know that. She can't be obviously. On the same level. Right.
And she is reaching up towards him, but she is framed from like pit up. And so she's just kind of like peeking up over the bottom of the frame, like reaching up to the framing is insane. It looks bad.
It does look bad.
They also shoot them like from really, because they're trying to make them feel like titans. So they shoot them from these really ugly, really low angles a lot through like glass floors. But it's framed poorly, so it never works. They don't look large. They just look like they're framed poorly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not good.
Like, you're talking about things that actually happened in the movie, and I kind of want to talk about the things the movie wants or thinks it is making happen. Like, there are parts of the movie that I thought were like extremely fun to watch, even if they were stupid as hell. Like,
please take me down there, because really the only other thing I want to talk about is WoW Platinum.
Well, yeah, we gotta save WoW for the middle to end, but like, There's a bit where like Julia is like getting more invested in Caesar, and she's like listening, trying to follow him, spying on him, seeing what motivates him, and he
At a 50-foot distance, headlights on, no attempt to mask her presence, just literally like a with the obviousness of like a funeral procession.
right, yeah, it's very goofy. He goes to like buy his dead wife flowers at like a Mirage flower booth. That doesn't matter. The part that I like a lot is where these like CGI like Statue of Liberty and Ten Commandments statues are just kind of like lying down in the middle of the road. Obviously it's trying to be poetic or symbolic or metaphorical, but it does just look very stupid. When the like Statue of Justice, the scales and the blindfold and the sword or whatever, just kind of like slumps over, does a big yawn, and puts her hands behind her head, and just it's ridiculous. The images that we are being shown do not have any gravitas or, solemnity to them. They just look dumb.
And this is supposed to be kind of like Caesar and Julia's like Death Note connection, where like he's seeing the art suffering and like he's seeing the kind of like pillars of the world collapsing, and she's also seeing it, but no one else can see it. So they have like a hashtag connection. But it doesn't work. And then he goes to see his dead wife and, like, braids her hair. But then we watch Julia watch him, and she doesn't see the ghost of the dead wife. She only sees him, like, braiding her hair. But he can't even... I don't know, I'm being nitpicky and insane. But, like, he couldn't position his hands correctly. So he was just fully, like, knuckles in pillow. Like braiding the pillow when the body of the wife was... And the scene cuts back and forth between Julia and Caesar in their respective cars. The lighting for Caesar changes somewhat consistently based on the coloration of the part of the slums that they're in. Sometimes it's blue, sometimes it's green. They don't do that for Julia. They shoot her in the same exact spot, in the same exact lighting. So, like, they'll cut from Caesar in blue light to her in pink and green light, and then Caesar in orange light to her in pink and green light, and then Caesar in white light and her in pink and green light. The assemblage of this scene, and then, like, the plasticky, poorly CGI'd statue, who, by the way, those actors are credited.
Oh.
They're in the credits as the statues.
Sure.
They look like plastic garbage. They're just falling all over the place. It is one of the most visually insane sequences I think I've ever seen. Second only to Caesar nearly overdosing with like stock footage blooming behind him.
See, I kind of liked that sequence, not necessarily with his drug trip where he's just like, what is the thing he says? It's like, if it's our minds that invent gods and from them flows such power, why can't we apply that power directly? He's just kind of saying that over and over again. And it's like, all right, that's nothing, but we have to carry on because this is also happening during WoW Platinum and Crassus the Third's like wedding, which is actually very fun. IMO, I like the wedding sequence a lot
because Aubrey Plaza and the guy playing fucking Crassus are
I believe
having
it's John Voight.
fun. John Voight is having fun. He's like chewing on Aubrey Plaza's shoulder.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, did we talk about WoW Platinum now? Let's just do it now.
Yeah, well, so she is a character. She's a journalist who is like hooking up with Caesar until she says, "I love you. I want to marry you. I want to be half of a power couple." And Caesar says, "Don't marry for love," because he's already done that and then was accused of killing his wife. By the way, he was accused of killing his wife. We haven't mentioned that because it doesn't matter. And then WoW just like, fine, fuck you. I'm gonna marry Crassus, who clearly wants my dick. And she does, and she becomes like an evil
hypnotist.
An evil, yeah, she does. She forgot she's a hypnotist. She's extremely horny. She knows what movie she's in. She's having a great time. She does at one point shove Shia LaBeouf's head into her cooch.
Yeah, that was all. She makes him call her Auntie Wow, which is very funny because she is technically his aunt after she marries Crassus, which rules, I guess.
And he calls her that for the rest of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Shia LaBeouf, I think he's had some missteps in his career as of late, but I think he
I'm
does
pretty sure he was credibly accused of like assaulting one of his girlfriends. So I was not happy
yes.
to see him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that,
Yeah.
not thrilled that he's like in this movie, but as far as his performance goes, I think he's doing a weirdo creepazoid pretty well.
Yeah, the wig helps. The
Yeah.
horrible ratty long wig they put him in. Hey, remember when he got onto a tree stump that looked like a swastika?
Yeah, that at that point in the movie, one, we were under like 8 tornado warnings, so I was like, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention to this film. And two, I was just like, I know you're trying to do like a commentary about the rise of fascism in the United States, but like this movie comes out like 6 months before Elon Musk just does the Sig Heil at the inauguration of the president. So it's like, yeah, man, you're actually not being blunt enough somehow. Like you're just missing. These insights are just like, it's just text now, bud.
Well, so two things are happening at once. Because we got Wow Platinum is mad at Caesar Catalina and is like trying to get him back. She's trying to make him her lover. And whenever he rejects her, she just kind of like becomes more evil. And so she plans this hostile takeover of Crassus's bank, apparently partially by hypnotizing him in a scene where we see her like reflected in tea. Where her hypnotist powers are coming from, we don't know. We don't care. It doesn't matter. She tries to hypnotize Caesar with her beautiful diamond necklace. Doesn't work. Mm-hmm. Wish it did. But so her whole thing is just trying to get back at Caesar. And then you have Claudio, which is Shia LaBeouf's character. He is just kind of a little scamp. Like, I kind of don't understand why he's doing anything he's doing. Because, one, people at the wedding were bidding on Vesta's virgin... No, that wasn't the wedding. Was it the wedding?
It was the wedding, yes.
That's crazy. People at the wedding were bidding on Vesta's virginity when that was supposed to raise funds for the city?
Yeah, the city's in a lot of debt.
Okay, and so Claudio plays a tape that's been doctored of Vesta fucking Caesar, and he tries to ruin that, unclear why. And then he goes, and this is so ham-fisted, it's like truly bananas. He goes to the immigrant quarter and is like walking with a Middle Eastern man and like a Polish man, and he's like hearing the complaints of the immigrants and gives them money, and the money has like the whole thing with the money with him is that the money when he hands it out is like his number on. I don't know, it's weird. Mm-hmm. And then he becomes like the populist fascist leader, buoyed by the unwashed masses. And like Francis Ford Coppola, like you can tell there's some disdain there for the unwashed masses.
Yeah.
For Mr. Coppola.
Sure. The Claudio character, yeah, I don't really know what he's trying to do with Claudio.
I don't either, but he gangs up with Wow to do the takeover of the bank, because she wants to get back at Caesar and he wants to be mayor.
He just doesn't like Caesar, right? Like his whole thing is that he doesn't like Caesar because Caesar's his cousin, and he's jealous of him because he won a Nobel Prize, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Yeah.
I forgot about the Nobel Peace Prize. So the Nobel Peace Prize is real in this universe.
Yeah, he got it for inventing Megalon, I believe.
Well, he didn't invent it. He found it in his dead wife's body or whatever.
Yeah, can we rewind? How? Yeah. Why?
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Let's move on.
His wife drove. So him and his wife had an argument. She drove off the bridge into the river, drowned, and then I guess he was chasing her ghost Elden Ring style. There was a shot of him like chasing her ghost. I was like, that is straight up Nakram from Elden Ring. It's like chasing her. I'm like, this is a shot from Elden Ring if I've ever seen one. And then I guess their spirits connected, like found Megalon, which is both a building material, and then also Julia, without his consent, revives him by grafting it onto his face.
Yeah.
How did she know that was gonna do that?
Well, she did it to a dog.
That's right.
Remember?
She did do it to a dog. That when the dog broke its leg, a completely treatable, completely healable thing, and she said, "We're gonna make this a cyber dog."
To be fair, if I could turn one of my cats into a cyber cat, I would do that.
That's fair. Well, I don't know. Toulouse would be too powerful if I did that.
That's true. That might become a holy terror. But like, the reason that she has to like graft his face is because a child shoots him in the head, which is actually awesome.
Credited as Assassin Boy, incredible.
That's I want that on my IMDb. Hell yeah.
12-year-old boy has him sign a thing, shoots him in the face. Incredible work. Best part of the movie. Incredible work.
Yeah, no, we were actually just cheering. We were both like, man, I hope he shoots Adam Driver in the head. And then he did. And they were like, yippee!
Literally, actually. I think we were like, woohoo!
You're right. God.
Just one drink in, exhausted.
Right, yeah. Also, me and Leyla were like trying to do this drunk, and both of us, at least for me, I am a little bit afraid of alcohol after having a excessive drinking experience, and Leyla, I don't know why.
I was bloated and sick and tired.
Yes, yeah. Again,
These are the things you worry about in your 30s.
Right. You can track the course of this podcast and see us getting more and more tired and worried about our health since 2000. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I want to talk about this show, this movie, but like, there's both so much going on and so little substance that I find it difficult to dig into the themes. Like, obviously, there's the themes of American decline. Obviously, there's the themes of trying to, grapple with the strength of genius versus the things that will hold you back. There's the themes of family and the importance of preserving the institution of marriage.
Okay. Hold on. I forgot that happened. Thank you for reminding me. At one point, Julia asks Caesar, she goes, okay, well, your utopia that you're building, what institutions would you preserve? And he says, marriage, without even thinking about it. Huh?
I love my wife. I love that two people in this world can be really committed to each other and through that commitment create a better life for themselves and their potential family. I understand many critiques of the family exist, and I think they're probably very valid, but I think there is something useful about the nuclear family unit that isn't entirely terrible. However, I think there are way more institutions that I would preserve in a society before I would go to marriage. Public health for one, roads, trade, democracy generally.
You don't need roads when you have like Megalon.
Yeah, do you want to We haven't even talked about what Megalopolis is.
I would like to hear you explain Megalopolis.
It's the Underdark from Baldur's Gate is what it is. It's a little fungal network made out of pure CG that's also a walkable city, I guess.
That's also blooming flowers.
Right.
And every house is expandable and it repairs itself and everyone's needs are met somehow with Megalon.
I mean, this is the most Fountainhead lens we can apply to it, which is like, what if an architect was so good at architecting that they made the city the best it's ever been? It's like, okay, yeah.
No, but okay, hold on.
Okay, hold on. Now you're mad.
No, because this is the thing. I want to know if Francis Ford Coppola has read The Fountainhead. I really do, because the similarities are like a little bit striking, right? Or did he do the fucking contrarian thing where, because remember when we talked about The Fountainhead where Howard in part one, you gotta think back 6 weeks, Howard in part one was like, I don't want to imitate anybody. All of my work is going to be distinctly Howard work. But the problem when you say that is, okay, by rejecting all convention, you stumble ass backwards into responding to convention. So you are still part of the fucking conversation, you big dumb dipshit. Do we think Francis Ford Coppola just kind of like stumbled ass backwards into the Fountainhead?
I think that seems more likely. Having listened to Remap Radio's conversation, it seems like these themes of like the brilliant genius versus society have run through his entire oeuvre. Like I haven't seen Apocalypse Now. I mean, I guess I've seen The Godfather, but it's been too long that I don't remember what's happening in it. But like, I'm willing to bet this is just more of a if you do a great man story, you kind of end up channeling Rand in some ways.
Well, because so the key difference here is that Catalina, one, cares about other disciplines, right? Because that's the riches of his Emersonian mind. He cares about art and literature.
Right. He knows who Ralph Waldo Emerson is, as opposed to Howard Rourke, who has never read a book. He doesn't need to.
Right, and I don't want him to. Honestly.
That's true. He'll get worse. He
also wants to create a utopia specifically like for helping people. Rourke wants to build for building's sake. The thing that they do have in common, though, is that, like, organic-ass Underdark architecture, when I saw it, I was like, yeah, this is the fuck-ass ugly kind of shit Howard Rourke would build, actually. Mm-hmm. It feels, like we talked about his star buildings. It's just like, and I was looking at it, I was like, oh, and we're back to libertarians don't want to pay for anything, but they think the roads should work. And it's like, okay, there's a reason that things are stylistically similar, or that they're somehow standardized, or, for repairs and shit. And I'm looking at the fuck-ass ugly Mushroom City, and I'm like, okay, you're telling me every unit is expandable. Do you understand the level of lawsuit we're about to get into when my neighbor starts popping out babies and starts expanding into my fucking yard? What are you talking about? What are we doing here? You haven't thought this through at all. You live on a vineyard, probably, that you've mortgaged for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Coppola wines, by the way, perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they're good.
They're fine. They're completely passable. It's insane. It's an insane concept, Megalopolis.
Yeah.
Also, the Megalon talks.
Wait, hold on. The Megalon talks?
Yeah, to him. It's like full of memories for him. And then Julia can see it because Julia's special. And she's his priestess. Again.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron, this is a...
I'm not saying it's a movie. I'm not saying it's a good movie. I believe I rated it slightly lower than you did on Letterboxd. I gave it 1 star precisely.
I gave it a very generous 1.5 stars.
Yeah.
Just honestly, the half, Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza, yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a movie that I ever particularly want to watch again.
I want to inflict it on people, I really do.
That's true. It could be, it could be kind of a, we're at the end of a long day. We need something to do. We need to hang out together. Let's just, have a couple beers and watch one of the most incoherent movies I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it's weird.
This new phase, this new chapter of Mortified, the Friendship Quest, we are trying to dig deeper. We're trying to be smarter. We're trying to be cooler. If we do somehow feel like we have become better, smarter, harder critics, in like 2 years, I actually would like to revisit this insane movie. Because, on one hand, rich text, so much happening. On the other hand, huh? And I don't know how to reconcile so much happening and yet.
I hate to bring Fountainhead back into this, but there's that playwright who reads the play, No Skin Off Your Ass, and is like, this is a great play. And his argument is like, it's easy to review a play that's already good. What makes a great critic is being able to write a review of a shit play and call it great. And like you said at the beginning of this podcast, like, I think in doing the criticism, we are that is kind of it's kind of a flex to be like, I can talk about this movie that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I think we will be bringing more to the movie than the movie is giving to us. And like, to be clear, I don't think that's bad. I think that's kind of fun. That's why we do this show. But I do think that, like, I don't know that it'll be a solid test of whether or not we're good critics as much as it is a test of can we have fun with this art object.
I mean, I'm having I was going to say a great time, and then I had to stop because I'm not a liar.
Let's tamper our enthusiasm. We are having a tolerable time.
I had a time. I did go to bed thinking the Fountainhead is downright enjoyable in comparison to what I watched. I would sooner read the entire 56-page I Am John Galt speech from Ayn Rand's Atlas Shrugged than ever hear Adam Driver do contextless Shakespeare for 3 minutes ever again.
I kind of liked the Hamlet thing, though. It was dumb, but at least everybody was just like, okay, he's doing Hamlet. Like, there was a proportional audience reaction. I guess, although there is some stupid shit, like, at the end, where he also gives a big speech, Adam Driver gives a big speech to stop the mob from tearing down Megalopolis. That is kind of the same thing.
Because he blew up the mob's neighborhood to build Megalopolis just because.
He needed to, because of destiny. But yeah, it is a similar effect where both him and Rourke are able to just speak, and then the crowd's like, yay, you're actually the greatest. Everybody clapped.
There was a shot of an extra, a featured extra. I hope that woman got her day rate. Turning to her friend during his speech and going, yeah. And that blew my mind. Girl.
I don't know. Maybe that's just like I don't know. When I was more, I guess, naive, like, I thought that, you know, Donald Trump was never going to get elected because people like reason to debate, and you can kind of debate your way out of things. And, like, I think Coppola is kind of working on the same level, which is, like, if you just have a smart man reason with someone, everybody will come around to the right things. You know, we have to have a conversation about the things that are inherently reasonable and good, which are, like, family and not kissing girls. But, like, I do think there is, like, a kind of, like, liberal, you know, naivete to this idea that you could just fix people with speech.
Can I say something controversial?
Please.
I think Howard Rourke is way more charming than Caesar Catalina.
Oh, what a bracing thing to say.
I'm thinking, hear me out. I am thinking of the scene where he's hanging out with Stephen Mallory and, like, Mike, and they're just, like, having beers and having a normal conversation. And I'm like, okay, that's a man. That's a person who enjoys architecture, and he's doing architecture for architecture's sake. He doesn't really have lofty goals. He does stupid, dumb shit, like defending himself in court twice. But, you know, he's just so captivating, a whole jury acquitted him. Meanwhile, Adam Driver is standing on an Underdark mushroom and talking about what was the speech about? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't remember either. It went right through me. But much like what's her name's dress.
Oh my god, I forgot the dress made. Yeah, he's a fashion designer too, Caesar Catalina.
Yeah, shout outs.
I will say, a cocktail dress that turns Vesta invisible.
Sure, whatever. I will say,
but also has script on her. Sorry, go.
We don't actually hear what Rourke and Mike and Mallory are talking about when they're having their, like, hangout montage. We don't hear their conversations. And I suspect if we got on a zoom in, they would sound a lot like Adam Driver here, just being like, well, actually, the architecture is the soul which moves the time of artistry, and artistry is the embodiment of the spirit of family. And, like, just continuing to throw out words and ideas and concepts.
Yeah, it's saying fucking nothing.
And Adam Driver, at least in this movie, does have the line, what I like is the little hot dogs wrapped in pastry. I think they're called pigs in a blanket. So
Do you remember the context in which he said that?
That's when he's getting blitzed out of his mind, recalling the no?
Yes.
Yeah, he's recalling the Nobel Prize speech.
His acceptance speech for the Nobel Peace Prize was, I like the little hot dogs wrapped in pastry. What do you call them? Pigs in a blanket.
Yeah.
Incredible work, Francis Ford Coppola. I'll give you that one. That was pretty fun. I like that. I hated the rest of it. Love that part.
There are bits that work. It's just they're few and far between.
I would cast Adam Driver as Howard Rourke in my 7-hour making of The Fountainhead, my Fountainhead miniseries on HBO Max. Because I think he's got it.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's an incredible actor. I think he could do anything.
Yeah, well, we discussed yesterday, he just kind of was doing Star Wars again here. Because he could use the Force.
He is telekinetic, yes.
He is telekinetic. Yell at women. Mm-hmm. Wearing all black. It's just Kylo Ren, but like pretentious. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What a film! I do want to revisit it in like 2 years.
I think we could. Yeah, I think hopefully in the next 2 years, I will have a lot more vacation time and money, and we can go out to the East Coast again, and we can force our friends to watch Megalopolis with us. And then we can go out to the club.
Get the greens on it, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
My friends here want to start a like movie night every once in a while. A lot of them are film people.
Oh boy!
I know I could get at least one of them to watch Megalopolis with me. I would like to get at least 3.
It'd be a fun
I think
time.
I get 2. Yeah. I think if we just get hammered on my couch and watch Megalopolis.
Listen, I think that's the only way to do it, right? This is just one of those films. It's like it's goofy, but if you get a couple people together and throw a couple back and just laugh at it, it's a good time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in good company. Watching it by yourself is a little bit
right. Don't watch this by yourself, but you know.
Yeah. Go watch. Just find any clip of Aubrey Plaza that you can find in this movie. She's incredible. And then do yourself a favor and find that one clip of It Titles Me, Go Back to the Club, that scene. Find it, watch it, it's fucking great. And then, that you can do by yourself. Everything else you need company.
Sorry,
I'm looking at the closer quotes. Did you know string theory? I forgot. This mom asks, did you know that there's string theory?
You ever having a conversation with your mom who wishes you had never been born, and she's like, did you know that there is string theory? And you're like, damn, Mom, you're so right.
This movie is what happens when an 80-year-old man just goes down like Wikipedia rabbit holes, and it's just...
It absolutely is a text you get from your elderly father that's just like, all right, Dad. Yeah, man, sure.
Oh my God. His daughter's a filmmaker, Sofia Coppola. I can't wait for your insane 80-year-old magnum opus.
Yeah, either it'll be really annoying, like, I'm in my father's shadow all the time, or it'll be fucking hysterical, being like, hey, what if Megalopolis was but all dinosaurs? And that'll be awesome.
I would watch that. That would fuck.
Yeah. Do we have anything else to say? I don't have shit to say about this besides there are a lot of doofy scenes that you have to watch in company with other people. Also, I just realized you're wearing a Powerpuff Girls shirt, which is very fun.
I certainly am. All the villains from the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah. You're talking about villainous queer coding.
Him did something to my gender as a child, for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I came from a wonderfully conservative country to this hedonistic hellscape called America, and one of the first things I was confronted with was a cross-dressing crab man with a goatee. And, I think that's demonic, and that's why I am the way I am. And, after that, I chose to be gay.
And that's how it works.
And that's how it works. And that's how, I'm just, if we're pivoting, we're going to pivot.
Leyla, when we are not just hamming around, where can we be found on the internet?
You can find me at LEYLSES on Blue Sky and Tumblr. You don't follow me right now. Follow me in like 2 months because we are about to start NHL playoffs and my beautiful team, the Sabres, made it for the first time in 14 years. We are playing the Bruins. which is a Boston team, and I fucking hate Boston sports. And if we, there is also a situation in which we play the Tampa Bay Lightning in round 2, and that's a Florida team, and I hate Florida sports, and I especially hate the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm going to be insufferable for the next several weeks. Maybe wait to follow me. And then after that, I don't know what I'm doing. We'll figure it out. Aaron, what about you?
Find me on Blue Sky at AA Voigt, Tumblr at Monster Factory Fanfic, and youtube.com/AA Voigt, where I make tabletop essays on tabletop games. I don't feel so good. We gotta end this podcast. Our theme song is Obsolete by Keshko from the album Filmmakers Reference Kit Volume 2. You can find more of their music at keshko.bandcamp.com. On one hand, I'm pretty glad that we're done with our Ayn Rand experiment. How do you feel?
Well, on the other hand, I am oral as hell.
Great. We'll see you all fucking whenever, I guess.